Some YouTube videos on social issues feel sterile. I often feel like they were created for the sake of personal satisfaction rather than to spark change. Who am I to judge? I personally struggle with the plight of creating for creative satisfaction versus creating for the sake of value. I'm not trying to go all with great power comes great responsibility, but as a video creator and with all that's going on in our world, I ask myself, how do I create the right thing? The past few weeks, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos about the current racial unrest in our society. There is just so much content being made about all of the world's issues right now that a lot of people have gotten social issue fatigue, where they are literally exhausted from seeing so much debating. So what is a creator like me to do when I look at my camera every day and feel an obligation to do my part? But none of us have the answers on how to make things right. I don't even know where to start. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to add to the conversation. So I decided to take a break from social issue videos on YouTube to rewatch movies that have actually sparked change. And I think the movie's theme that is most relevant to our current circumstances is Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing.
Peoples, my stomach's been grumbling, but help has arrived. My main man Mookie has saved the day, straight from Sal's famous pizzeria up the block.
I gotta come back to the theme. But first, one of the things that stood out to me in this film was how it showed such a connected community. I'll be honest, I only know the name of one person on my block, and I've been living in my neighborhood for 3 years, but the reason why the community stuck out to me so much in this film is because on YouTube, I hear the word community so much, mainly that my favorite creators always say that they consider me part of their community. And like this platform, the community depicted in Do the Right Thing has its peaceful moments and also has its conflicts, which is the theme of the movie, peace and conflict competing with each other. And that theme is the heart of my conundrum, as I want to create videos for my viewers that leaves an impact, but I don't know which is the more effective ingredient in a YouTube video aimed at change in our current climate. Do I focus on peace, or do I have my videos focus on the conflict? I think my plight as a creator perfectly mirrors the initial reception of Do the Right Thing when it hit theaters in 1989. The movie was very divisive at the time. On one hand, it was praised for its honest depiction of race relations. On the other hand, the media panicked that the film would cause African Americans to riot. And it wasn't because a white police officer killed a black man in the film, but because the protagonist, Mookie, threw a garbage can and broke a window in response to the killing. It's crazy to me how this 30-year-old movie mirrors our current circumstances in which we are similarly torn. As a nation, we struggle with the focus of our debates. We don't know whether to talk about the killings of African Americans, police brutality, peaceful protest, or the looting. I am 100% confident that debate is useful. It's when issues are too personal that debate can quickly turn toxic.
I need passion in my life.
Say he's a mamaloo.
He's a mamaloo. Yeah, right.
Yo, Mook!
A couple of words of Thai words.
Okay.
Mookie!
So you know I'm still.
What?
How come you got no brothers up on the wall?
Man, ask Sal, right?
Hey, Sal, how come you got no brothers up on the wall here?
You want brothers on the wall? Get your own place. You can do what you want to do. You can put your brothers and uncles and nieces and nephews, your stepfather, stepmother, whoever you want, you see? But this is my pizzeria. American Italians on the wall only.
And yes, sharing our unfiltered opinion on any platform can potentially have consequences. But in all my research of Do the Right Thing and how it was initially received, I see now that it's made so many lists of the top 100 movies of all time. I've come to the conclusion that it's not always bad to be divisive. I think the more pressing lesson the film taught me as a creator is to pay attention to where my intent comes from.
The hype. Newest, latest. Let me tell you the story of right hand, left hand. It's a tale of good and evil.
In many ways, that scene taught me that if a video is created from a standpoint of love, or let's just say understanding, its effect on the audience has more of a chance of eventually reflecting the creator's intent. I think the secret ingredient for my own creative works, that is the greatest takeaway from this film, is truth. See, Do the Right Thing was the first movie of its kind. Before it, if you wanted to see films on the Black experience, there were only the Black exploitation films of the 1970s made by white filmmakers for white audiences, so it's no surprise that some looked at the film as being controversial when they were so used to seeing this. And not this.
Two times. Who told you to step on my sneakers? Who told you to walk on my side of the block? Who told you to be in my neighborhood?
I own this brownstone.
Who told you to buy a brownstone on my block in my neighborhood on my side of the street? Yo, what you want to live in a black neighborhood for anyway?
Here's a quote from film critic Roger Ebert in 1989 regarding the critical reviews of Do the Right Thing. All of those reactions, I think, simply are different ways of avoiding the central fact of this film, which is that it comes closer to reflecting the current state of race relations in America than any other movie of our time. Summed up in one word, truth. I think most of us try to be truthful in our videos and films, but doing enough research and including enough information in our videos so that the audience has a great understanding of both sides of an issue is the part where a lot of our content falls short. I was really impressed with the two-part series Potato Jet created on his second channel about the George Floyd LA protest.
It started off by us going over to the protest to show support. Good news, Los Angeles is starting to open back up slowly but surely. But bad news is Los Angeles is kind of in chaos right now. Helicopters everywhere.
In part one, he took us along to the protest and gave his overall opinion and was very honest that he didn't have all the answers. In the second video, he again documented his experience but explored the difference between the protesters and the looters.
It was a completely different crowd. The protesters, they love the camera. The looters, not so much. One even threatened to take my camera.
Both videos felt really balanced to me. He didn't have to interview both looters and protesters to get his point across. He just had to give an accurate depiction of what he witnessed. Do the Right Thing tackled probably one of the hardest issues we deal with in our country, which is racial inequality. At some points, it showed that we can come together. And at other times, it was hard to watch.
Get his arm! Get his arm! Gary, that's enough! Gary, that's enough, man!
It is always truthful to his theme of peace and conflict competing. The film's message is clear as day. Its theme song even says the message over and over, which is fight the power. With all that I've learned from re-examining this film, I would now say my message to myself and fellow creators moving forward is to fight to bring truth and bring understanding. I'm excited about what I'll create going forward, but I had to be clear with myself because even if we take responsibility for tackling an issue, approach the subject from a perspective of love or understanding, and are accurate and truthful with our coverage of a story, our audiences still may not like it. But my goal wasn't to learn how to get acknowledgement from an audience. It was to learn how to create the right thing.